My name is Jake Morrison, and 3 months ago, I signed up for what I thought was just another reality survival show. What I didn't expect was that my best friend since college, Marcus, would betray our alliance in the final challenge and cost me $1 million prize. But what he didn't know was that I had been recording everything on a hidden camera, and the footage I captured revealed something that would destroy not just his reputation, but the entire show. I was standing there in the Amazon rainforest, watching Marcus shake hands with the host while holding a check for $1 million that should have been split between us, when I realized that the random challenges had been rigged from day one. The betrayal I felt from my best friend was nothing compared to the rage I felt when I discovered we had all been manipulated by producers who had predetermined the winner. If you're watching this, hit that like button and subscribe, because this story exposes the dark side of reality TV that networks don't want you to know about. Drop in the comments where you're watching from. I want to know where my fellow reality TV survivors are. This is my story about how a survival competition turned into a lesson about trust, betrayal, and the lengths people will go to for money, including the producers who were supposed to be running a fair game. Marcus, John, and I had been best friends since our freshman year at Ohio State. We met in an outdoor adventure club and bonded over our love of hiking, camping, and survival skills. After graduation, we both ended up working dead-end office jobs in Columbus, him in insurance, me in customer service, dreaming about adventures we couldn't afford. When we saw the casting call for Wilderness Warriors, a new survival reality show with a $1 million prize, we knew we had to try out. The show promised to test contestants' survival skills, teamwork abilities, and mental toughness over 30 days in the Amazon rainforest. "Dude, we've been preparing for this our whole lives," Marcus said as we filled out our applications. "All those camping trips, all those survival courses we took, this is our chance to actually use those skills for something big." The casting process was intense. We went through multiple rounds of interviews, psychological evaluations, and physical challenges. The producers seemed particularly interested in our friendship and our complementary skills. I was better at building shelters and finding food, while Marcus excelled at navigation and fire making. "We love the dynamic between you two," the casting director told us during our final interview. "Best friends competing together always creates great television." What we didn't realize at the time was that they weren't just casting us for our survival skills, they were casting us for the drama potential of our friendship. When we got the call that we had been selected as 2 of the 12 contestants, we were ecstatic. The prize money would be life-changing for both of us. Marcus could pay off his student loans and start the outdoor adventure business he'd always dreamed of. I could finally afford to go back to school and finish my engineering degree. "Whatever happens out there," Marcus said the night before we flew to Peru, "we stick together. Best friends to the end." "Absolutely," I agreed. "We're going to win this thing together." We had no idea what we were walking into. The first week in the Amazon was exactly what we expected from a survival show. 12 contestants were divided into 2 teams and given basic supplies: a machete, a water purification tablet, and a first aid kit. Everything else we had to create or find ourselves. Marcus and I immediately formed the core of our 6-person team. Our survival skills gave us a huge advantage in the early challenges, which focused on building shelter, finding food, and navigating through the jungle. "Jake and Marcus are like a survival dream team," said Sarah, a 28-year-old teacher from Portland who became our closest ally. "They know exactly what they're doing out here." We dominated the first few challenges, while other contestants struggled to start fires or build adequate shelters. Marcus and I had our team organized and comfortable within days. We shared our knowledge freely, helping teammates learn essential skills. The key to winning this isn't just individual survival. I told our team during one of our strategy sessions. It's about keeping everyone strong so we can dominate the team challenges. Our strategy worked perfectly. We won 4 out of the first 5 challenges, earning rewards like extra food, better tools, and immunity from elimination. The other team was struggling, losing members every few days while we stayed strong. But I started noticing changes in Marcus around day 10. He was spending more time talking privately with the producers during their daily interviews. He seemed more focused on individual performance rather than team success. "You've been acting weird lately," I told him one night as we sat by our fire. "Everything okay?" "Just thinking about strategy," he said. "We're doing great as a team. But eventually, this becomes an individual game." "Not for a while, though," I replied. "We stick with the alliance until we have to turn on each other." "Right," he agreed, but something in his voice didn't sound convincing. By day 15, the show format changed. The 2 teams were dissolved, and we became individual competitors. But alliances were still crucial for the challenges ahead. Marcus, Sarah, and I formed a tight 3-person alliance that we thought would carry us to the final. The individual challenges were more intense, tests of endurance, puzzle solving, and survival skills that pushed everyone to their limits. The Amazon was taking its toll on all of us. We had lost weight, were constantly fighting off insects and infections, and the mental pressure was enormous. But I started noticing that Marcus was getting information that the rest of us weren't. He seemed to know which challenges were coming next, which areas of the jungle we should avoid, and which contestants were likely to be eliminated. "How did you know that challenge was going to be about tree climbing?" Sarah asked him after he had prepared specifically for a challenge that seemed random to the rest of us. "Lucky guess," Marcus said, but I saw him exchange a look with one of the cameramen. During our private conversations, I started pressing him about his interactions with the production team. "They're asking a lot of questions about our friendship," he admitted. "About whether I think you're a threat, whether I'd be willing to vote you out if it came down to it." "What did you tell them?" "I told them we're sticking together," he said. But again, something felt off about his tone. The turning point came during day 18, when we had been reduced to 6 contestants. The challenge was a complex puzzle that required teamwork, but the winner would receive individual immunity and a clue about the final challenge. Marcus and I worked together to solve the puzzle faster than anyone else, but at the last second, he grabbed the final piece and completed it himself, claiming the individual victory. "Dude, what the hell?" I confronted him afterward. "We solved that together. I had to make a split-second decision," he said defensively. "This is a competition, Jake. I can't just hand you victories. We're supposed to be allies. We are allies. But I'm also here to win." That night, I realized that my best friend was starting to see me as competition rather than a partner. The final week of the competition came down to 4 contestants: Marcus, myself, Sarah, and a guy named Derek from Texas who had managed to survive by staying under the radar. The challenges became increasingly difficult, and the pressure was enormous. I had been secretly recording conversations using a small camera I had smuggled in, originally planning to create a documentary about our experience. But as Marcus's behavior became more suspicious, I started focusing the camera on his interactions with producers. What I captured was shocking. During what I thought was a routine producer interview, I recorded Marcus having a detailed conversation about challenge strategies, upcoming eliminations, and even specific answers to puzzles that hadn't been presented yet. "Remember, in tomorrow's challenge, the key is in the 3rd tree from the left," I heard a producer tell him. "And make sure you form an alliance with Derek for the vote tonight. Sarah needs to go." "What about Jake?" Marcus asked. "Jake's elimination is scheduled for day 27. We need the friendship betrayal for the finale episode." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The entire competition was scripted. Marcus wasn't just betraying our friendship. He was actively participating in a rigged game. That night, Marcus approached me with a plan to vote out Derek, while secretly he was planning to vote out Sarah with Derek's help. When the votes were revealed, Sarah was eliminated with a 2-to-1 vote, and I realized that Marcus had been lying to me about everything. You voted for Sarah? I asked him after the elimination ceremony. I had to make a strategic move, he said. Derek offered me a better deal. We had an alliance. Alliances change, Jake. This is about survival. But I knew the truth. This wasn't about survival or strategy. This was about following a script that the producers had written, and Marcus was their willing participant. The final challenge was set for day 30, a grueling test that would determine the winner of the $1 million prize. Only 3 contestants remained: Marcus, Derek, and myself. The challenge was described as a race through the jungle to find hidden immunity idols, followed by a final puzzle that would crown the winner. The night before the final challenge, I confronted Marcus with what I had discovered. I know about your conversations with the producers, I told him directly. I know this whole thing is rigged. His face went pale. What are you talking about? I've been recording everything, Marcus. I have footage of producers giving you answers, telling you about challenges in advance, planning eliminations. Jake, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. You've been cheating this entire time, and you've been lying to me about it. They approached me, he said desperately. They said if I played along with their storylines, I'd have a better chance of winning. They said the show needed drama, needed conflict. So you decided to betray your best friend for money? It's $1 million, Jake. This could change my entire life. And what about my life? What about our friendship? I thought you'd understand. I thought we could split the money afterward. By cheating? By playing the game the way the producers wanted it played. I realized that Marcus had rationalized his betrayal by convincing himself that everyone was doing it, that this was just how reality TV worked. But that didn't make it right, and it didn't make our friendship worth sacrificing. I'm going to expose this, I told him. All of it. Jake, please. If you do that, you'll destroy the show, you'll destroy my career, you'll destroy everything. You already destroyed everything when you chose money over friendship. The final challenge played out exactly as I had heard the producers plan it. Marcus knew where every immunity idol was hidden, knew the solution to the final puzzle, and knew that Derek was meant to be eliminated in 3rd place. I played along, pretending I didn't know about the rigging, while secretly recording everything. With my hidden camera, I wanted to capture the entire fraudulent finale on film. The challenge was supposed to look close, but Marcus won by a significant margin, exactly as scripted. When the host announced him as the winner and handed him the $1 million check, I felt a mixture of anger and sadness that I had never experienced before. Congratulations to our wilderness warrior champion Marcus Chun, the host announced for the cameras. How does it feel to have survived 30 days in the Amazon and won $1 million? It feels incredible, Marcus said, looking directly at me. This experience taught me what I'm truly capable of when I put my mind to something. The irony was overwhelming. He was talking about capability while having cheated his way to victory. During the final interviews, Marcus tried to justify his actions to me one more time. Jake, I want you to know that our friendship means everything to me, he said. I hope you can understand why I made the choices I made. I understand perfectly, I replied. You chose money over integrity, and you chose fame over friendship. That's not fair. What's not fair is rigging a competition and lying to everyone about it. The producers said everyone does this. They said it's just part of how these shows work. That doesn't make it right, Marcus. As we prepared to leave the Amazon, I made a decision that would change both of our lives forever. 2 weeks after returning from the Amazon, I released my hidden camera footage online. The video showed clear evidence of producer manipulation, scripted eliminations, and Marcus's willing participation in the fraud. The response was immediate and explosive. The footage went viral within hours, generating millions of views and sparking outrage from reality TV fans who felt betrayed by the deception. "This is exactly what I suspected about these shows," one comment read. "Thank you for exposing the truth." "I can't believe Marcus betrayed his best friend for fake money," wrote another viewer. The network was forced to launch an investigation, and within a month, they announced that Wilderness Warriors had been canceled. Marcus was required to return the prize money, and several producers were fired for their role in the fraud. Marcus tried to reach out to me multiple times, but I wasn't ready to have that conversation. The betrayal wasn't just about the money or the competition. It was about discovering that someone I trusted completely was willing to lie to me for personal gain. I lost my best friend and my integrity for money that I had to give back anyway, Marcus said in a public apology video he posted online. Jake was right to expose the truth, and I was wrong to participate in the deception. The experience taught me valuable lessons about trust, integrity, and the corrupting influence of money. Reality TV promised us adventure and opportunity, but it delivered manipulation and betrayal instead. 6 months later, Marcus and I finally had a real conversation about what happened. He had used the experience to make changes in his life, leaving his corporate job to become a wilderness guide and dedicating himself to honest work that aligned with his values. "I know I can't undo what I did," he told me, "but I want you to know that losing your friendship was the worst consequence of all of this. I'm glad you learned from it," I replied. "But trust takes time to rebuild. We're slowly working on rebuilding our friendship, but it will never be the same." The experience showed me that even people you trust completely can make choices that betray that trust when enough money is involved. The most important lesson I learned wasn't about survival in the Amazon. It was about survival in a world where reality TV, social media, and the promise of easy money can corrupt even the strongest relationships. If you've ever been betrayed by someone you trusted, know that exposing the truth is always the right choice, even when it's difficult. Sometimes protecting others from deception is more important than protecting relationships built on lies. Leave in the comments if you've ever had to choose between loyalty and honesty. And if this story inspired you to value integrity over opportunity, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the real cost of reality TV fame. Remember, real survival isn't about lasting 30 days in the jungle. It's about maintaining your integrity when everyone around you is willing to compromise theirs.